offense about a 7 or 8 out of 10 today. What would you rate it? What do you think the offense did?
Well, we didn't shoot it great, but we ended up shooting, I can't even see, we ended up shooting 47, I guess, and shot the three ball good. But I think the thing offensively that we did so poorly is our unforced turnovers again. I mean, that's 2 games in a row where we give, I think we had 18 names and 16 today, where we just, for no reason, just turned it over. Bad turnovers too, and so I think if you take away turnovers, we were probably pretty efficient, but certainly that broke the game open or fragmented the game. Where I don't think you can look too good when you turned over that much.
And how much do those turnovers concern you ahead of playing a team like West Virginia?
Well, they do all the time. Is there something wrong with this thing right here? There's an echo.
Gary?
But they turnovers obviously bother any coach anytime. But the thing about it is, against West Virginia, you're going to turn it over enough because they force you to turn over. You can't just give them the ball whenever they don't force you to. And tonight, I thought Texas played good defense, but our turnovers were bad ones, I thought.
Bill, first hi. Josh had 6 of those. How does that stack up in what you see in his whole game right now?
I didn't think Josh had a good game today by his standards. It was a game where he could have had 25 real easy. Try to make great plays when great plays aren't there, drive the ball back into the help. There were several things, or not several, there were 3 or 4 things I think he could do good. The last play, you got an uncontested basket, you try to make it into an alley-oop. I mean, it's an easy basket, and we made it harder than what it was. But I mean, he didn't play poorly, but I don't think he played quite as well, and I thought he was pretty careless with the ball.
How much is that he has to just feel it? I mean, I know you snap your fingers, you love him to just know how to know when to do what, but where is that coming from?
Well, I personally think with Josh, he got aggressive players always turn the ball over more than non-aggressive players. I mean, there's a reason why Westbrook has more turnovers than anybody, because he tries to make a play every possession, and there's a reason why, some guys' assist to turnover ratios are unbelievable because they don't take a lot of chances. Josh is going to be a player that takes chances, and we want him to. But the thing about it is, with him, I don't think that he's picking his spots or didn't today. For instance, if you drive it back the direction where all the help is, or you make an easy play harder, which I think we do quite a bit. But whether he has 6 turnovers or 2 turnovers, I don't think you look at that and say that's the reason why he didn't play well or he did. I think sometimes your numbers can run up, especially if you're a big guy, always trying to get to the ball, the basket off the bounce. But he just got to pick his spots, I think, a little bit more wisely.
You guys have a knack for timely shots. I mean, anytime a team kind of makes a run, there's somebody, and it can be different guys that'll step up and knock down a big shot. Is that veterans? Is that execution? Is that mental toughness? What is that?
I hope it's a little bit of everything. But Speed didn't have a big game today, but he made a couple of timely plays. Devontae didn't do. He didn't scratch the second half until the end, and that was obviously that was the nail, so to speak. And then different guys step up. Landon hadn't scored the whole game, but he makes 2 free throws. It kind of keeps it at 8 or 10 or 6 or whatever it was. So we have had different players step up and make positive plays when the game was on the line.
Is there a frustration level with not putting your throat on teams, or is it just other teams reacting?
I would say today we were so good early, you're not going to keep playing that way. Texas, we kind of staggered them early, and then the law of averages prevailed. They fought back, but still it was I don't think you should apologize for playing somebody even for a 10-minute period if they're playing well. But so many things. You score at the end of the clock, or you score late first half, and then you give up a second shot basket. There's so many momentum plays that good teams, to be honest, don't do, and we certainly haven't quite conquered those things. But I would give Texas credit. I don't think we played well. I thought the second half was very fragmented, no rhythm, which I think probably played to Texas' favor. And we didn't ever get much rhythm second half because there's a lot of stoppages. But I didn't think we played poorly. I just don't think that we played great.
Devontae had 15 and just 7 shots in the first half, and then didn't look like he was looking to score in this.
I know it.
second. Would you like to see him just?
Yeah, it's happened too often. You know, he's had several games where it's one half has been polar opposite of the other half. Now he didn't play bad the second half, but he didn't put himself in position to score near as much. Whereas the first half he was looking for a shot, but he made a big one there when it counted, and certainly you get a guy that has 18 points and 5 assists and no turnovers. You're not going to say that that's a poor game. I mean, obviously that's a great floor game, but he had the chance to really have a big night tonight, and just didn't seem near as aggressive the second half.
Bill, what about Jared Allen's game?
Yeah, there's a reason why we won him. He was the best player in the game. Obviously, he 22 and 19 as a freshman, and Landon played sick the whole day, and he did his best to hold his own in there, but certainly his length gave us problems, and his offensive rebounding, he was really, really good. But he's a terrific talent.
Charles said kind of the plan was to trap him when he was in the post. He did have 6 turnovers. How do you kind of feel about the job he did in that?
Well, we trapped both of them. He and Shaq both when they cut the ball in the post, they turned it over early. That was a big reason why we had got off to a nice start, is because they turned it over too, and we were able to get some runouts and things like that. But I thought the first half, I thought our defense was pretty darn good. Second half it wasn't like they scored more points, but I didn't think our defense was near as intense the second half.
Well, nearly halfway through the Big 12 conference schedule, how would you evaluate this team, and where would you like them to grow most moving forward?
Well, we got 2 more games to get to halfway, but we're almost there. I think that we played pretty well consistently. I think that's one thing about our team. We've been fairly consistent. I still think there's another gear we can go to. I still think there's another big step. I don't think we're all quite on the same page yet, like championship caliber teams have to be in order to have success late. But I mean, we're not in a bad place by any means, but we're in a place that I think there's still improvement that can be made.
You have a really tough stretch ahead of you on the schedule with West Virginia, Baylor, Kentucky. What do you want to see out of your guys over the next 3 games?
Well, I would even take it further, I don't know who we play after the K-State game, but you're looking at West Virginia, Kentucky, Baylor, Iowa State, at K-State. So those are all games that are obviously winnable and losable games. It's nice. We can't be in a better position than we're in right now, but if we, it would be nice if we kick it into another gear, because if we don't, then we'll be looking 2 weeks from now, looking at the situation saying, okay, it's anybody's race. And it still is anybody's race, but certainly we put ourselves in a decent position. Now we have to capitalize on our efforts so far. We've always had teams that perform well in stretches, and we had teams that didn't perform well in stretches. And this is a stretch that is probably about as tough as we've had since I've been here, I believe.
Particularly the West Virginia game.
Excuse me?
The West Virginia game, what do you guys need to do well against them? You've struggled there in recent years. What specifically do you want to see out of your team to do well at West Virginia?
Yeah, it's okay to struggle there. They've been a top 10 team every time we played them there, I think. But I think what we have to do is attack their pressure to score, and then obviously, take care of the basketball. We don't have live ball turnovers, and then we got to rebound the ball. Like today, Jared dominated the glass, and you look at the boards, we're +7, and I didn't feel like we rebounded it great, but we need to steal some possessions on the glass, because that's what they make a living on, is stealing extra possessions on the top of the glass.
Devontae said part of the game plan today was to get the ball inside the Landon and Carlton and get the Texas bigs in foul trouble. How would you evaluate how that went today?
Well, that's all. That's a factual statement by Devontae, but that's also not what happened. I mean, we didn't. Our big guys were no factor inside offensively. Obviously, You know, Carlton had 3 baskets, but I don't know if any of them were actually catching the ball and scoring over a big. I think we threw it inside and he got a dunk the second half and the Gamble missed. And Frank gave him an uncontested layup off a ball screen. But for the most part, we didn't throw it to our post and get baskets with our back to the basket. So I would say we didn't do that very well.
Anything else?
West Virginia, it seems like does something that nobody else quite does, pressing after
Misses everything, yeah.
What does it say about Huggins that he's the guy who's just trying something that's kind of wacky or different and succeeding with?
Well, he's a great coach. You know, he's been around a long time. He's an old guy, and been around a long time. But I tell you what he's done is he got with Kevin Mackey, from what I understand, Cleveland State, and has kind of gotten with him and over time and said, you know, we probably need to play a little different at West Virginia because of the personnel that we can recruit, interchangeable parts, and you know, he does it. They do it as well as anybody. But he, you know, I think the world of him as a coach, and he's a good guy, and certainly you're right. He does it different than anybody else. But I think if you look back at his Cincinnati days or whenever, he probably did it different than everybody else too. He certainly put his own style in how they're doing things.